How's this week been as far as, I guess, the attitude and the guy the way?
It's actually been pretty good. It started out pretty rough because, obviously the expectations and, you know, the game against Georgia, that was going to be shown to them and to the staff that that's not acceptable at Auburn. So anybody knows, Coach Chiswick knows that he was going to get that point across, and he did just that, and rightfully so. But the last couple of days have been really good. The guys are flying around and getting after it. They've been really physical out there, so that's always a good sign when you hear it sounding like football. Even with the distractions today of the weather and all that, they still came out there and were ready to go. That was really good to see.
I guess everybody's kind of talked about trying to spread the ball around some. Any of those younger guys, you see any of those guys kind of taking some steps forward to maybe get more into that rotation?
Yeah, I think all of them, if you ask them, think that they should get it every play, which is a good thing. I want those guys to feel that way, but, obviously you got to earn that. And, Quan has done some things. Trevon is finally getting back healthy where he can, take some hits. And you probably notice it looks like he's got on Brandon Mosley's shoulder pads, kind of wide out there. So he's getting back into his normal pads now because that shoulder's gotten a lot better. But it's really encouraging to see those guys, though, really chomping at the bit to get the ball. And obviously, Quan and those guys have gotten so much better just simply by playing on special teams. The temperament for being in the offense and all that is up in the bunch. So I look forward to seeing what they're going to do these last couple games.
How big can a game like this one be just from a confidence standpoint going into a big one like you got in the last game?
I attended those other games with Utah State, and we're not taking anything for granted. But honestly, we're really trying to fix us and continue to make sure that we're moving in that direction. The one thing you don't want to do is stay the same or go backwards, and that's what we're trying to teach this team. And I know everybody's talking about how many freshmen and how young they're, but we're really focusing on helping the players get better, whether they're freshmen or a fifth-year senior. We want those guys to get better every day. And that's the goal each day, to make sure that your team is improving in an area that they need improvement in, whether it's special teams, whether it's offense, whether it's defense, whether it's penalties, whatever it is. You want to continue to see that success so that they can carry it over and build it for long term. It's not just for this one game, or not just for the rest of the season, but they get the expectations of what Auburn's football program is going to be about for the next 4 or 5 years. And that's what we're doing, trying to build that foundation, continue to work on the first 2 years that we were here, and keep moving in the right direction, which is toward championships, because that's the goal here.
Trip, what does Trevon need to do to be more a part of the offense? He's a guy that his teammates say he's got some potential.
He has plenty of potential, but potential means you haven't done it yet. That's what that means to me, and that's why I tell those guys, you can have all the potential in the world, but you have to go out there and do it. Not only during the game, you have to do it in practice. And that's where Trevon's got to get better at. With he's trying to protect that shoulder and I can't afford to put a guy out there that's trying to protect himself. But like I said, he seems like he's moving around a lot better. Even talked to him about getting back and maybe catching some more punts and doing some kickoff returns and things like that, just to get him back into the flow, and then putting him back out there on offense. That will happen gradually as we feel confident that he can do it. Physically too, not just mentally, because he's done a good job of learning what to do. Now it's I'm not going to turn the ball over because I'm protecting my shoulder or something like that. So, but he's a tough kid, so and he understands what the expectations are. And he's going to have to earn that, because Quan has done a good job, and obviously Emory and Trevante. And so, those are guys that he's competing with. So.
Emory seems to be, obviously the most versatile receiver in terms of the different routes that he can run. Do you feel like you got some young guys that have that ability to run the variety of routes like Emory does?
Oh, absolutely. Here's the deal. They kind of asked that same question about Darwin, and Emory was behind him. And so just like Emory waited his time because Darwin was the best there, those other guys are going to have to do the same thing and wait and bide their time to where I feel as much confidence in them as I do. I'm going to throw it or get it to the best player that's going to make plays that we can count on. And if he does the best job of getting open on whatever route, that's how we do it in this offense. And it's really good because it builds confidence, but it also makes those other guys compete. Because when they watch tape and they see, ooh, he did a good job, or they look at their route and go, oh, I didn't do it as good, you know, it makes more sense to them. And people say natural route runner. There's no such thing as that, because to be honest, every route tree that you go into is going to be a little bit different depending on the team and the scheme that you use. I'd love to hear the Broncos coach say today about that crap that we used to run. When you had a different quarterback, you wasn't calling it that. But now they got Tebow with junking that crap and running this. Why? Because the bottom line is to win and put that player in a position to be successful. You're not a very good coach if you don't take the talents that your players have and use them to their advantage to be successful. You know, and I think that's what the great coaches do in every sport, matchups, whether it's basketball or, you know, your best pitcher in baseball against their best hitter or whatever, the matchups. And so that's the kind of mentality we take in this offense. And it is tough at times because you're asking them to learn a lot, but at the same time, when they do make it to that next level, it helps them because they are able to run a bunch of different routes. So it'll be tough for those guys to pass him up.